Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Health and Long-Term Care. Minister, 1 month ago, I asked you why my constituent, Mr. Jim Lees, has to wait months for a bed in a long-term care facility. I explained that he has gone back and forth between the hospital and the local retirement home because the home cannot provide the care he needs, as they are not a long-term care facility. Not to mention that the family is paying thousands more each month than they would for nursing home care. Well, Minister, it's been a month since I asked you that question, and yet the situation remains exactly the same. Still no beds. Mr. Lees is still in the same retirement home, and he's still not receiving the care he needs. In fact, Mr. Lees fell last week and spent a couple of days in hospital because he was over-medicated. Minister, I will ask you the same question I asked you 1 month ago.
Question.
Will you help Mr. Lees, or is this yet another example of the health care seniors can expect under your government?
Minister of Health and Long-Term Care.
To the Associate Minister of Health.
Associate Minister of Health.
Thank you, Speaker, and I thank the member for his advocacy on behalf of his constituent. And I want to begin by reminding the member that, as he well knows, my office and his office has been working very hard on this case. The CCAC has been working with the family to make sure that the best possible care is made available to the resident. And as he well knows, having been a past Minister of Health, I cannot comment on the particulars of this case. But what I can say is that any Ontarian who needs urgent care is placed on the highest priority list for our long-term care homes and is provided that level of priority care. What I can also remind the member is that this government has made historic investments in long-term care. In fact, we just, the member in Sault Ste. Marie just reopened a new long-term care with 50 new beds over there. So we're continuing to invest, Mr. Speaker, and I want to assure the member that we will continue to do everything we can. Thank you.
Supplementary.
Well, back to the Minister of Health. Since I raised this issue, Mr. Lees has been offered 6 idle beds. These are beds that were not on the list of the 12 nursing homes his family has selected. And remember, the family is only required to select 3 homes, and they've selected 12. One of those beds was in Toronto. One was way up north. 2 were not suitable for Mr. Lee's care needs. And the others remain a mystery to all of us, as the family was not told where these beds were located. And I say to the Minister, I'm not sure how you expect a family to agree to a nursing home bed that even your own ministry can't identify where it is. Minister, I find it troubling that this man is classified as critical, the highest priority, and you can't find him a long-term care bed. I don't believe you just opened 50 beds. We opened 20,000 new beds in our 8 years. You haven't built a gosh darn thing in your 12 years. Don't you think we need some new nursing home beds in this province?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to again thank the member for his question, remind him that I can't speak to the specifics of this case. Happy to speak to him outside. Also know that my office has been working very diligently with his office, and that the CCAC has been working very diligently with the family to resolve the issue. But what I can say is that this government has been making significant investments in long-term care. In fact, we've driven down wait times by 34%. And get this, Mr. Speaker, you know, we have driven down wait times by 34%, but when the Conservatives were in power, they did not even measure wait times, Mr. Speaker. So I'm taking no lessons from the member opposite on this issue. All I can say is we continue to invest in long-term care, and we're going to be redeveloping 30,000 new beds over the next little while. That's a historic investment in long-term.
Answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your question, the member from Timmins.